Yeah.
Okay, so 10 seconds of quiet starts now.
Hello everyone with Team Green Gaming. We are here with our next run. We've got a Metroid Fusion randomizer race between Mr. ZekeHighwind and Mr. TreySpyre on your screen for your viewing enjoyment here. And myself and Chloe will be commentating this race and guiding you through it while they our next run. We've got the race. They're going to try to finish the game first. It's random. It's fun. We'll have fun.
Yeah, so we got Metroid Fusion Randomizer. We had someone tear apart this game. If anyone's familiar with this game, it's known to be pretty linear in its story elements. So what they did is they tore apart basically all those flags that that the story elements provide, and they made a really good randomizer out of it. So we shuffle all the major items in the data rooms along with the missiles and the power bomb tanks, and it causes a lot of pretty interesting techniques to be employed to beat the game that the story elements provide, and
yeah, it really opens up the game quite a bit.
Out of it. So we shuffle
using
all the major
Metroid for being an extremely linear game, but it turns out when you break the heck out of the game and take out all those events, you can actually just go pretty much wherever you want. Treat it kind of like any other Metroid rando, where you just go wherever the items let you go. It really opens up the game. I think we're gonna get these runners going here. Extremely linear game, but it turns out when you Alright, and we're back. Thanks for waiting for us. We've hopefully figured out the audio issue. Our texts are saying we figured out the audio issue, and we found the problem.
We found the problem. Of course.
Alright, for real this time, let's get this race rolling. We're gonna let these runners go and have some fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am supposed to be hosting. My cat is just like by the mic, so I'm gonna be going on and off mute. But you guys are doing like incredible for taking over, so thank you so much.
That's okay.
Sure,
the cat
no
wants the cheese. That's how it works.
He cannot have my cheese.
No, he needs it.
No.
I say let cat noises come through. You know, cat noises are great on stream.
Did you release the clowns yet?
I did. They have a 5-second countdown. We're getting there.
All right, good.
So once they actually get through the delay here, we'll actually see them go on stream. Our back-end timer has begun. We'll get there in just a few seconds.
So, we're going to hear from Adam, the one time that we hear this entire game. And here he is.
He's going to come in and say, hey, gotta get missiles and the plasma beam and the charge beam and open the level 4 locks, and then you're done. Those are the baseline requirements to finish the game. There are some implications, of course, with that. To open level 4 doors, you need a gravity suit to do things underwater, and also a way to escape from lower sector 4, which there are a couple different ways that you can do that. It also implies speed booster, because you definitely need speed to get in and out of that section too. So there are more items required than Adams directly states, but there are some implied requirements. We'll go through those as as the seed progresses.
Yeah. In addition to all those, we also need some sort of jump upgrade in order to get to the control room at the end of the game. Notice that the only thing we're not saying they need is more beam weapons, which means that if they get plasma, the game will think that it's enough to beat the game.
Yeah,
Plasma
he
charge,
could end
anyway.
up in a situation where you have literally just plasma and charge beam and just like basic missiles, but that is the minimum weaponry requirement to finish the game.
So our intro sequence is done, and Trey gets to the data room first.
And we have a missile start. So there was recently a tournament done for this rando, and there was like kind of an agreed like tournament flag settings set, and they were playing on that set. So there were 3 possible items they could start with, being missiles, morph ball, or speed booster, and we have missiles. So when a missile start, you are railroaded into basically the opening sequence of the game. If you played Metroid Fusion, you're very familiar with what we call the Arachnus loop, where you go through, you get your morph ball off Arachnus, and then you're able to go down and start exploring Sector 1. The morph is...
Trey's already skipping an E-tank, yeah. What the heck?
He's going for speed.
He is going for speed. The Arachnus loop here has 5 items in it, 1 being on the boss himself, but you're guaranteed to get Morph Ball here, as you don't have a way of getting out of this room without it.
Yep. Very latest, you'll get Morph on Arachnus itself. There's an item in the ceiling here, and we'll see more missiles. So the missile tanks are nice to have early, especially when you have no missile upgrades. Any additional ammo actually speeds up the Arachnus fight a lot. In vanilla, you have 20 missiles here. Rando tends to give you like 10, and then like you have your base 10 missiles, and then like 4 E-tanks, and then Morph is just here as well. So this is a little bit faster than usual because we have actually like 15 missiles.
Trey used all his missiles on Arachnus, which means he has to farm for a green pickup off of the core here in order to actually do any damage to it. These things require missiles to hit and injure at all, and they get progressively harder as you get to the later bosses.
It's what, a 20% chance that any yellow X drop is instead of green, something like that?
Yes, unless you're at full health, then it's 100%.
Yeah, the Metroid games they've always had the system built into them where the game kind of gives you more or less what you need. Like if you're full on energy, it'll prioritize other drops like ammo drops. So that is a thing here, even though the only real 2 pickups you're going to get are yellow, which is energy, and green, which is missiles. We might have power bombs later if they find the item for it, but there are no power bomb specific X colors. The only one that restores everything are the rare red X drops, which are also guaranteed from certain specific enemies, which includes the eye doors.
Yeah, on average, I think the enemies have like a 1 in 256 chance of dropping one.
Yeah, like less than 1%, something like that. Oh look, Trey picked up that E there. Okay, so they're going to be relatively even on energy.
Yeah, 3 E's is alright. I mean, the game hits hard.
I mean, any percent plays on like 3 E-tanks, so whatever. Oh, they've spotted an item there. That is speed lock. So they'll have to come back up the main elevator once they have speed booster, and they can break through that and get whatever that item is. You'll notice in Metroid Fusion, you have there weren't graphics for all the items. Like you play any other Metroid game, like the freestanding items, they'll have a sprite for them or something. This game never did that because you always downloaded your major items from like data rooms or got them off of core X's. So there's just a question mark there, and you'll know that's a major item that is, in other words, not an E-tank or a missile tank or a power bomb tank. So those are always valuable to pick up, but you never know what it is until you touch it.
One important thing you saw Trey do is he actually stopped to save there. Unlike the other games, other Metroid kind of randomizers where like your biggest fear is death, your biggest fear in Fusion Randomizer is soft locking. You can enter areas that you can check items, but you just simply can't get out of them. So having a save instead of having to restart the game is pretty important, especially if you plan on doing point of no return checks looking for that item that you need to get out of the area.
Yeah, it is a different style of randomizer. You have to kind of be aware of the checks you're going into, and that you might get stuck somewhere if you lack the items to like escape lower sector 2, for instance. So it's common to save at the top of every sector. Those are always safe points to save, because you'll never be stuck at the top of a sector, unless you're in really rare circumstances where you're behind on the other side of like a locked door. But that, you know what you're doing at that point.
Yeah, this game employs a lot of interesting logic when it places its items. So far we haven't seen a lot, but we've seen 2 question marks behind their current equipment. So
yeah, so we're looking for like speed or screw attack or something to get that one that's in there's space jump. That's also gets us that. So that one they spotted in what we call the Kago room. The Kagos are those pillars that when an X gets into them, they actually just grow. They can now jump over that and get that major that was behind that. So that's our first big item after Arachnus and Morph has been space jump, which now just lets them jump continually in air, as it says.
This game also being kind of a hub world game, all the elevators to the different sectors in this game being in the central location, it does allow for a lot of save and quit type shenanigans, where you can just reset your game, get back into the action from a place that's a lot faster rather than having to climb out of each area.
And Trey's gonna get morph bomb data. All right, so there are bombs. They now have kind of an option. Right now, this is a pretty typical decision to go directly to Sector 2, because you always have to unlock level 1 doors. You can't get through a sea without unlocking doors 1. At this point, they can now say, maybe we go into lower 2, or maybe go out and go somewhere else. Zeke might just be recharging and doing that. We'll see. But Trey's gonna immediately employ these bombs and go start making more checks in 2 here.
Yeah, bombs was the quintessential first item you get in Sector 2, and that allows you to get most of the area. But if you fall into lower Sector 2 without any sort of jumping or freezing ability, it is a one-way trip with a lot of items down there, so it is a gamble to make that dive early. But we have space, so not an issue today.
Trey thinks carefully about that missile pack and decides to pick it up. That first item we saw is a powerbomb tank. You will probably never see any of them voluntarily collected. The only time you get a powerbomb tank is if it's forced upon you because you have to touch it.
Yeah, and we'll laugh at them if it's in the way.
Yep.
Main
missile tanks are...
Yeah, main
missile
power
tanks
bombs
are always...
Sorry.
Yeah, they're not useful.
Missile tanks are good. Power bombs, main power bombs gives you 10, and that's already more than you need for the seeds.
Yeah, power bombs in this game are, you get them mostly, I mean, as a plot device, they're useful, but like in terms of how useful they are for like collecting stuff, they mostly get you more power bombs. But they do open some checks. Like the main power bomb data might actually be useful. This is also, that's actually, we should talk about that. It is, this rando is kind of unique amongst like Metroid randos in that you have to collect the actual data item to use like your missiles or your bombs or your power bombs, for instance. So you can't just collect a tank and then have it work. At least there's an option for that, but like pretty much everyone plays with like main missiles and power bombs required. So you can collect all these tanks ahead of time, but if you don't have the actual item that enables it, you cannot use them. So.
Trey, you're at 60 health. You need to be careful.
Do be careful. Fusion, I mean, if you remember Fusion, I remember it. This game hits hard. It was a tough game. And then Metroid Dread, of course, continued that. Got even tougher with how the game damages you. Yeah, it's a hard game. And canonically, it's supposed to be hard because Samus she had like large portions of her suit just completely removed. She's in a very weakened state, so everything hits hard in this game. So we're both progressing into lower 2. Yeah, don't touch that blue one. It's special. It does a lot of damage. Yeah, he'll be fine. He probably won't die here.
These little jumpy things are super annoying. I hope he's careful in here.
Zeke is actually going to try to kill the blue one here, specifically because it's actually a special enemy.
Zeke, you're out of missiles.
So Certain, yeah, so you see actually that red X drop from that. Specifically, there are certain enemies in the game that are like differently colored, and they're just, sometimes you can make them spawn under certain conditions. Other times they just exist by default, but they will generally always drop a red X, and that red X refills like 500 energy and 50 missiles and 20 fire bombs, I think, something like that. It's a lot. It's a big refill.
It's a big refill.
And Trey found our first missile upgrade, which is the ice missiles. So we're going to get our missile upgrades completely out of order, most likely. We started with ice. And the way missile upgrades work is they actually just have they just stack in their damage additions. So in vanilla, you start with 10 damage on your basic missiles. Supers upgrades that to 30, ice makes it 40, and diffusion makes it 45. So right now, Trey's missiles do 20 damage because ice just adds a flat 10 damage to it.
Which is really good. Missiles are one of your biggest sources of damage in this game, especially early game, because getting beam upgrades is pretty rare, and if we find a specific beam upgrade first, then your damage basically goes down. Oh, and it's like I predicted it.
You had to say it. Oh, Chloe, you had to say it. All right, so that's our wave beam. You're going to notice Trey's beam is going to be a little bit awkward for a while until we hopefully find the wide beam. Zeke's taking a peek at what we call Ripper Tower. He's actually gonna run himself through that powerbomb tank and blind check another item in here.
He actually doesn't have anything to check that second item.
Yeah, so there's an item hidden in the wall in the lower left there. With certain items, you can actually just see what's there. Like if you had wave beam or diffusion missiles or power bombs, you can look at it. But he is just going to blind check it by way of doing this. There, he's got it. So this is a little puzzle room. Fusion loves these puzzle rooms.
Mm-hmm. Trey, in the meantime, is fighting Zazabi, which is the third boss of the game.
And as Zardo states in chat, that is correct. This boss is out of logic because the game logically requires you to have charge beam to kill any boss, because charge beam can kill anything as long as you have base at least charge. You can damage stuff, and then of course you need missiles for Core X, but you at the very least can farm missile drops off of any Core X. So you can't possibly run out. Yeah, nothing important there. So Zeke's done with Ripper Tower. He's going to go in here and also kill Zazabi. And we'll see where Trey goes next. I'm waiting for a divergence here, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, going into lower sector 2 after getting space is a good play, though. There's a lot of items. Yeah, there's a lot of items in sector 2.
2 does have a lot of stuff to it. It's a fairly dense area, and getting your bomb data there is just like, well, you can probably go down and get stuff.
That said, there's a lot of items. They didn't actually find anything super useful. I would argue that Wave Beam doesn't unlock a lot, especially early game, but it does make for some interesting gambles later.
Yeah, Wave does have some potential. What we got here? Ooh, there's Charge.
Ooh, that's something. All right. So far, Wave, yeah,
that's not so bad. You can fire charge shots, and that kind of fixes Wave Beam, like Trey's showing here. Charge kind of like does part of, sort of like it, not quite wide beam, but it helps. Wave is still awkward by itself, but we'll make it work.
So Trey is going into the back of Sector 2. This is the overgrown area, which is designed to be done pretty decently late in the game. So these key hunters here actually do a non-insignificant amount of damage, especially since they're supposed to also have Varia at this point.
Yeah, the game hits really hard in the Notori section of Sector 2, basically. There's not much back here, actually. There are only a couple items back here in this area. The E-Tank, which Trey will probably get, yeah.
So the only other item back here would be the item that's on the boss Notori itself.
I don't think you fight Notori at this point. Your missiles aren't that strong.
I don't think you can with just Charge Wave.
I mean, maybe you can.
You can.
You shouldn't. It's a dicey play.
Maybe if you had Plasma going into Notori, but
maybe. Yeah, Trey's not headed for Notori. He's gonna probably leave Sector 2 at this point, and he might check Ripper Tower as well. He has Wave, so you can see him just use Wave to reveal the lower item through the wall.
He's gonna find his double burgers.
Yep. There it is.
These rippers don't do an insignificant amount of damage either.
No, they don't.
Don't run into them.
And also, that guy leaving Ripper Tower will also hit you. There's a plan to change to remove that enemy from this area because actually, A, it hits you upon coming out of the door, and B, it actually is the cause of one of the more common logic bugs in the current version of the Rando. You can actually have your game just be uncompletable if you collect high jump. And there's also a needed item in Ripper Tower because then the state of Sector 2 changes and that enemy freezes to a cocoon and you can't get through it. So by collecting high jump, you can unknowingly just like make your seed uncompletable. So that enemy will in some future version of Rando just be not there. It'll either be gone completely or moved to a different platform.
So our Sector 2 loop is done. There's only a couple items left in here, but none of them are accessible right now. So where are we going from here?
We're going to see where Trey goes. He's got to go up the elevator, of course.
The logical play is 1, but we don't know logic with these people.
With Mr. TreySpyre here, he will go anywhere that isn't 1 just to goof off. So he's going to go to 4 first, which 4 is reasonably accessible. You have bombs, bombs in space, like you can get in and out of it.
So the boss of Sector 4 doesn't require space jump to get to him, but you can get to him with space jump if you're being spicy.
I wonder if Trey's actually going to go for it. We'll see what he does here. There's a really tricky space jump room you can get through to reach Ceres, but it's hard. And if you dunk yourself in the water, then you can technically get out of it, but it's extremely difficult. Zeke's fighting Notori. He's trying to fight Notori.
Zeke, I hope you saved. This is a painful
I'm pretty
fight.
sure he saved. Yeah, he just needs to be, super careful. He needs to stop. He's taking that damage willingly.
Yeah, he is. I don't think that's a good idea. I think Zeke, you're running out of health.
He's trying to get to phase 2 of the fight. Yeah, he's not gonna get there that fast.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he saved right before it, so
he saved in this room here. Yeah.
Ice beam. All right. Now, in addition to his beam wiggling around the screen, it's also very loud and doesn't one-shot anymore.
Yeah. It
also freezes enemies.
It's a bit of a trade-off. I think ice does add some damage, but yeah, it can have logical implications. Like certain things you can be expected to freeze enemies. Those situations are kind of rare, though.
So the way the damage values in this game works is your original beam does damage on impact. Same thing with charge beam. But when you get the plasma beam, your beam goes through enemies. It penetrates enemies, is what the game says. And then it starts doing damage per frame. And then your beams after that, the wave beam and the ice beam specifically, all follow that same rule where they deal damage per frame. But your damage values are kind of reduced because otherwise you'd be doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Which is why getting those beams before plasma tends to be a little bit of a slog, since not only is your beam just really weird, it's also kind of not as good. Anyway, we're just going to keep going through 4.
Yeah, basically. Fusion obviously was never is constructed in a very linear way. You weren't expected to get stuff out of order, so they designed it with that in mind. Yeah, the Rando has already made some changes to that, and we could potentially see more changes to make the beam combinations more generally useful just by having more of them, but
oh man,
there's stuff planned for this Rando still. It's got a long ways to go.
I like the terrible beam combos. It's great. It makes some of those question items kind of a trap.
Yo, do we have a quick second to plug the marathon and whatnot?
Go for it.
Just want to say as well, your commentary is amazing and it's super entertaining and it's just I'm really enjoying it. But anyway, so Team C's, that's what we're benefiting today in this charity marathon. Every dollar donated, every dollar raised, a pound of trash will be removed from our oceans. Team C's has a goal of removing 30 million pounds of trash by January 1st, 2022. And so far they have removed, or planning to remove, so far they've got enough raised to remove 18,500. Look, this 18,500,000. It's a really big number, and everyone who's donated is super awesome. It's all going towards an amazing cause, amazing charity. We're saving animals in the sea. Sharks are cool. If you donate money, I might give you a shark fact. Yeah.
we are in the business of saving animals. This is a Metroid game after all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only reason this game exists is because we saved animals in the other game.
This is the canon storyline, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's canon. I see. All right, don't forget, folks. We also do have a bid war going on. You can either save the animals or save the frames on the Super Metroid run coming up near the end of the marathon. Personally, I'm a saver of the frames. This is a marathon. This is a speed run. You know, we're gonna save real life animals, not these strange alien animals. God.
They're animals too. They're worth saving.
But frames, I think, currently Save the Animals is in the lead with, let's have a look, $282, and Save the Frames has a $209. So they're safe for now. For now.
Zeke just got bailed out by that energy tank. I'm pretty sure he couldn't have gone.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was way too low.
That was a dodgy play. So Zeke's actually gone to Sector 1 where Trey looks like he's headed now. Zeke's found some stuff. He's got his super missiles and also speed booster now.
Speed, yes, speed booster, very important. Required to beat this game in every seed, which is weird. It's like it's kind of like a bonus in some other games, but this one is just flat out required to do the second half of the game, basically.
Yeah. Speed actually, speed comes in pretty early in this game. Like, it's your first trip to Sector 4, which is like the third thing you do after getting off the main deck. So it's you have speed for most of the game, and the game is built around that. Of course, like, you're expected to use it in many areas. So it actually locks quite a bit.
I think it's the fourth boss, Saris? Yeah, fourth boss.
Yeah, because you fight Arachnids, then you go to 1, then you go to 2, then you go to 4.
Because 3 is 2 hots.
Yep.
Zeke, don't jump on that. It might fall.
Zeke hops on that. He's just like, you know what's down there. That's the exit from lower Sector 1, the area that some people call Turian. We probably won't see anything down there, but who knows? We'll find out later, potentially.
Yeah, right now they've found their charge beam, which is one of the 4 major things to beat the game. They're still missing most of the other stuff, though. Well, they found missiles too, so I guess that's 2 of the 4.
Technically, yeah.
But they still need to get plasma and gravity suit.
Yep. We have our speed, so we're just a gravity. Actually, we're just gravity away from being able to actually open the doors in lower 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can definitely escape with space jump and ice beam. We have plenty of tools for that.
Neat little place. This is a secret area in Sector 1. There's actually 2 speed puzzles here that are designed to not be accessible until very late in the game.
Yeah, if you're doing like 100% cleanup, you have to come back here later and do some of this. Looks like Zeke's gonna go for one of these before the actual charge beam fight here.
Yeah, Zeke has to do this in a very specific way.
He's a bit slow. Yeah, this is hard without high jump. The timing is very tight on it.
Yeah, you have to. I think you. Yeah, you can't grab that ledge. You have to just get up there with the third.
You do.
Yeah.
If you ledge grab, you lose time on it. Yeah, that was closer, but still not quite. So there is a so what Zeke's trying to do is he's trying to enter this boss room with a shine spark going so that he can go up above the boss and just kind of one-shot break into. There are speed blocks above it that hide an item. Oof, that was closer. All right, he's given it 3 tries. He said, "I'll just fight the boss." Yeah, this is where you normally get the charge beam in vanilla. It is an eye core X. You have to hit it in the eye with missiles. His missiles are powerful, so he one-shots it, and we get energy tank. Yeah, that one normally has, I think, 30 or 40 hit points?
I think it's like 35. It's a weird number.
So it takes like 4 normal missiles, but if you have like supers and ice as they do, then it just dies.
Yeah.
That's a powerbomb tank. We're not going to get that. And Trey's right behind him here. Trey's also going to take a shot at this. There actually is in some seeds there it can actually expect you to do this for progression. You can actually have your missile data above the charge beam core fight. It's not supposed to be that way, but right now it can be. Obviously, we didn't see that today.
I like it being that way. I like that.
The problem with it is that it's a one-shot trick. Like if you don't get it, then you have to reset out of the room and try it again. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, it should be in the higher levels for sure, not where it was in like the level 2 version of the game.
So the way the rando works right now is they're like difficulty levels, and they have just kind of like a number of logical implications built into them. I think later it's actually planned to have it be more like the Varia rando, where you can just choose your choose what tricks you want to have possibly in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, there's a lot planned for this rando. It's honestly pretty good in its current state, but yeah, there's a lot more coming for it. And I hope we get some interesting options like shuffling door colors and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. So Trey pulled it off here, so he's gonna just go up above this and get this item, and then he'll start the fight. It's a missile tank.
Yeah, so Zeke's not missing out on anything on that.
No.
So where's Zeke going? Zeke's going to 3 now. 3's a good play because this is where your level 2 doors are, which unlocks a considerable portion of the game, especially the dreaded Sector 5 and 6 areas, both of which kind of require the Varia suit to really progress, but if you're feeling spicy, you can just run through it and take a bunch of damage.
Yep. The tournament settings that have been used do have what we call nice shine spark save. Did he get it? No, he's too far away from the door. That was good. That was close though. They do have damage runs enabled, so you can be expected by logic to actually go through hot rooms, or also what you saw the electrified water in Sector 4. You got it. Nice. He's going to yume through this room. You will take damage on the way through here, but it's not like the heated room damage in Fusion really isn't that much. You can kind of just tolerate it.
Especially if he finds Varia, it will make it a lot easier to go through these heated rooms.
Yeah.
Or Gravity, it just makes it even easier.
Yeah, because Gravity and Varia both make you immune to heated room damage, and Gravity itself will also make you while also letting you move around in water. It also makes you immune and fully mobile in lava too. Trey's getting a little bit caught up here, finishing his cleanup in Sector 1. Zeke is still proceeding through 3. Hasn't found anything really crazy useful yet, but we have the ability to unlock doors 2.
Yep, we just found our... yeah, the only reason Trey's mainly behind is because of doing Sector 4, which isn't that big of a deal. This doesn't work. You have a... well, I guess it does.
Oh, there's power... Ooh, well then. We have powerbomb data now. That's fun. That unlocks some things all over the game.
Powerbombs is something you get pretty late in the game, and they mainly lock powerbomb checks. Go figure.
Yeah. In terms of the rando, you don't always see powerbomb data come up. It's not always needed. So when you get powerbomb data, you're kind of like, you don't know if you want it.
This is pretty early, though. I can imagine that powerbomb is required.
Yeah, I mean, with any rando, like the earlier an item appears, the more likely it is that you're gonna have to need to use it somewhere. So they'll be thinking about like, what does this mean? Why do I have this?
So now that Sector 2 is, level 2 doors are open, this area actually becomes a lot more hostile. There's a lot more enemies around.
Yep. the in the game, it's given that the unlocking the doors is what allows the X to actually invade the sector. So yeah, security level 2 being open lets a bunch of X into sector 3 and 4. Though 4 actually is kind of I'm sorry, 5 and 6 really, but yeah, 3 in particular you see a lot of changes. Like it's suddenly there are a bunch of X everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke having space jump. He's going to be able to come in here and check a few items. He's going to opt to pick up that missile tank. Trey's got his power bombs.
This next room is heated, so we'll have to go through it quick. But there are 2 items in here.
And with space jump, we can very easily.
Oh, Zeke,
you can just
jump.
You can just jump, Zeke. It's okay. You don't have to freeze the guys. There you go. You see, you have the option of using any ice weapon you have to freeze those enemies and use them as platforms because they're all standing on crumble blocks. But you can also just space jump up here and just get the items.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it that way. All these little, I forgot what they're called, Triceratopses. Not quite, but just in the way.
We're just gonna head back up here. We will go see what Bob is today. We have a Bob in this game. It is in vanilla. It's called Bob the Missile because in the 1% category, it is the missile upgrade that you cannot skip. Today, it's a power bomb tank.
It is in the way. There is no way around it.
There's a 0% category for this game in vanilla that utilizes a couple of different options of a difficult trick to get around that missile. But traditionally, the low percent of Metroid Fusion is the 1% run.
I think we're gonna see the next boss in the game too. At this rate, Zeke is heading to box 1.
He does have the ammo for it, and definitely his missiles are powerful enough, so he shouldn't have any issues with being able to kill Box. He'll do a recharge here, which is a good idea. He's got 50 missiles, and I think, ice supers? Yeah, he's got plenty of damage for Box.
Yeah, which is good, because you can have to fight this guy with just charge beam, and it could be terrible.
Yeah, technically speaking, with charge, you can just kill anything, but without a lot of beam upgrades, it can be a real slog. Zeke kind of going with his psycho face tank. Okay, maybe not. He likes to fight Box sometimes with kind of this crazy, just smash face into it and fire missiles wildly and hope it dies. Like this, yeah. He has a strategy for Box. It's interesting.
I mean, it's not terrible. Boxes only takes damage in that center console, and only when he doesn't have that bomb port open.
Yeah. Zeke's done it, actually. He took half his energy and damage, but also Box died really fast, so it works out. Oh yeah, Trey's checking this item up here on main deck, and he's got diffusion missiles. Okay. So he's seen all of our missile upgrades.
Yeah, diffusion's not particularly useful, especially since we have both wave and ice, and also ice missiles. Basically, the ice beam is not an item you get normally, but it does take the place of diffusion missiles when you have the wave beam, because they effectively do the same thing.
Yeah. So Trey, we have more cool divergence here actually. Trey is doing a thing he likes to do relatively early in seeds when given the opportunity, and that's to go back up to main deck and check animals. And that check over to the right, we just call it Trey's room because sometimes he goes there and finds something really early and wins. Not this time, though. It's just a power bomb tank.
Honestly, though, it's not a bad play because he does have power bombs, which allows him to go do... see, just go up and around. He already speeded through the area over there.
So Trey has picked up the energy tank there, and it looks like he might be doing a special little thing here.
I'm not sure what Zeke is doing. He can just power bomb or go around this way.
He could just go up and around again, yeah.
And also, Trey is saving the animals for no particular reason.
Because animals are worth saving.
I mean, yeah, okay, animals are worth saving. There they go. Look at them go.
It is in vanilla, it's absolutely required. This is a plot point of the game. You have to save the animals in order to progress to the next event flag. In Rando, it is entirely optional. You can do it if you want. There's no benefit for saving the animals in Rando, but we sometimes do it because we can.
It is considerably slower than doing it in like Fusion or in Super Metroid.
Yeah, especially when you see when you have Wave Beam, you can actually just get the item that's in the bottom right of that room really fast, instead of having to go up around and do the puzzle to get to it. Trey is doing
for a quick donation, sorry?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome, we have a $5 donation from Clandero. There we go. With a comment saying, glad to be able to help a great cause. When do you have to dance like a fox? When you're doing the foxtrot. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. That is another £5 of trash removed from the ocean. Thank you so much. And also, can I be cheeky and drop a shark fact since we got a donation during my host block? Okay, this one's a bit of a weird one, but there is only one species of sharks that can fart, and it is the sand shark.
Good to know.
That's interesting. Wow. That's okay.
Cool.
Enriched. You're welcome.
Now you know.
Again, if you want some more shark facts, do feel free to donate.
I have been enlightened today. All right.
I've got some funnier ones too. They're just hiding in the back burner.
I look forward to them. I hope we get more. Yeah, let's get more donations for shark facts, because I'm curious now.
Yep, donate for shark facts. So we're gonna see two bosses at the same time. It looks like here.
Zeke's taking another attempt at Notori. What Zeke doesn't know is you can actually stand on the very rightmost edge of the platform, and that one spore in the top left doesn't fire. He's actually just kind of tanking it. He's just taking the damage to get to phase 2 as fast as possible. So which changes the fight entirely. It's actually like less dangerous now in that regard.
Yeah,
and Trey's gonna get into Yakuza.
Yeah, now Notori's just firing the plasma beams, but I think he's almost over.
Yep.
And now TreySpyre fighting Sploiter. Arguably one of the slowest bosses in the game. There's very little you can do to make this go fast. Every time he goes up, he has a 50-50 of opening his maw, so you can stuff it full of missiles.
And it is and he can do the up to basically like up to four in a row. Like on the fourth movement, he's guaranteed to open, become vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this boss has a ton of RNG to it. It's actually one of like the worst RNG parts of speedrunning this game in vanilla.
But fortunately, Trey has a ton of missile damage and was able to get it through in 2 cycles.
Yeah.
Zeke finished Notori off, so only got missiles for it, but one less boss that you have to think about. And then phase 2 at Yakuza is just this.
It's this. It's dropping trash on you, and you gotta dodge that and hit it in the face with more missiles. And it's Trey has just enough missile damage to actually take care of it. I'm gonna go to charge beam, so that's good. Having to do charge with like just ice wave is not a lot of damage and would take a while.
I think they're actually going to high five in a second.
Yeah, we're gonna high five in a bit here. Zeke's actually going backwards through this section of 2, which connects to the main deck reactor, and Trey will probably go this way after killing this Core X.
Trey, just shoot the damn. Oh, you're out of missiles.
Unless he resets, I don't know. We'll see what he gets here. Power arm tank, okay.
I think Trey might just go to Notori from here.
He probably goes to Notori. He knows he has the damage for it now. Yeah, so we're gonna get close to a high five. Not a
high five in the auxiliary power room. Well, at least the save room, I guess.
Zeke's saving first here, because he intends to go elsewhere from here. He's gonna do this whole bit in the opposite direction. Yeah, we'll take that high five. That's close enough.
That's close enough. They were in front of the door at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can see the difference in the reactors. Actually, this reactor sprite that Zeke is showing, where it doesn't have any damage to it, is after you kill Notori, and it's very rare to see that in like the normal game, because there's almost no reason to come back here after you kill Notori.
Yeah, you probably see it in vanilla if you're like doing your first playthrough and you're just going around power bombing everywhere looking for your last few items for 100%. But yeah, you would not see that normally in the vanilla game, because there's no reason to go back. The story does not push you back down there at any point after killing Notori. Yeah, though, so Trey's taking the normal route after reactor to get through Sector 2. This is in the sequence you kill Yakuza, and the reactor's all clogged up with vines. So you go through here and you find the cause of it in the Centauri. You escape from the SAX along the way, and it's one of the most tense SAX sequences too. Definitely one of the hardest points of vanilla is that chase sequence.
Yeah, especially since you kind of like just fall on him.
Yeah, and you just had like a hard boss fight, and you're probably not at full health, and it's just that whole sequence is just really tough.
No, Trey's not deciding not to do Notori.
I guess not. He's just leaving. So,
He's just leaving.
Or did Trey already kill him?
No, Trey never did Notori.
No, it was Zeke that did it. Yeah, okay. I guess Trey's written off Notori. Fair. And Zeke is taking care of Yakuza in a similar fashion. He actually got pretty good RNG there, so he's getting through this a little bit quicker.
Zeke's doing more of a safe trap by hiding in the corner because he can't really drop trash on you in that corner easily.
Not that much, yeah. Yeah, this fight is really interesting. It's really cool when you can do it fast because you kind of have this rhythm of like just firing a missile exactly in some angle. You know it's going to hit every time. It's fun. Cool horizontal missile last hit. Trey's heading to Sector 6. Ooh.
Spicy.
With no Varia, this is actually a very spicy play. Yeah.
Yeah, Sector 6 without Varia does actually restrict some of those checks. He's gonna grab the heal.
Yeah.
You can decide to do these checks, but you can also decide to, live, because some of these checks just chunk your health.
Mm-hmm. So if you remember Sector 6, it has there are these large X that have come from Sector 5 that were mutated by the cold. And when Samus touches them without Varia, they deal a lot of damage, like 80 damage. It hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Trey's actually going to pick this up because he's planning on tanking through Sector 6. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is going to be interesting to see how deep he goes into 6 here. With power bombs, you can actually do pretty much almost all of 6, except the parts that are locked by doors 4.
Yeah, he can do everything besides... Yeah, he can just do everything. He has charge beam too, so...
Yeah. He can actually fight the Varia core, yeah.
So this is the first part.
Yeah, there are like 6 blue X in this room, and you see his health just dropping.
And you have to go through it twice.
Yeah.
Because there's an item right on the other side of it.
That's a missile mimic.
Oh, you got a
nice red drop. Okay. Oh, what's here?
Oh!
Ooh, okay then.
That's spicy, okay.
So, that is Screw Attack. The Screw Attack is a very interesting item to find. It unlocks a lot of stuff. Screw Attack's a very late item in vanilla. You get it pretty much like so late in the game that you really only get to use it for just like easy travel between sectors and kind of cleaning up for Hondo or whatever. But in Rando, it lets you do stuff like this. So there exists in the game, each sector has like 2 or 3, I like to call them connectors, that transfer to other sectors, like little shortcuts. And that's one of them right there. And those tend to be all locked by Screw Attack. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of them are actually locked by Screw Attack except for the one between 4 and 5.
This little 6 to 5 connector is it's pretty common to check that when you've got Screw, because you can just get a quick little item that's locked behind yellow doors, but you can access it there. And Trey's decided that's enough. Either that or he's saving up here so that he can reset if he goes down farther and doesn't get anything. One of the two.
That's true. He might actually go backwards now. I don't know.
We'll see. There are a lot of decisions to make in this game. There are so many like a lot of point of no returns. Even when you've got even when it's not necessarily a point of no return, you can still potentially save a lot of time when you make a deep dive into a sector, but you don't find anything. You just reset back to the top of the sector instead of having to climb your way out again.
Yeah, at this point, the seed is pretty open to them. Space Wave and Screw Attack does actually unlock lower sector 1 to them now, the Torian area.
That'll be a thing.
And I mean, I guess I can say that Ridley is in logic currently. It could have gravity.
God, Ridley gravity. I don't. Yeah, maybe we'll see. It's very rare to see a Ridley seed in this, because there's not much that can be on Ridley, because there are a number of requirements to fight that boss is very much.
I mean, I don't want to be that kind of commentator, but I kind of want to be that kind of commentator.
I mean, you'd love to see it, really. So Trey has opted to go to Crumble City. He finds himself a powerbomb tank. We call this Crumble City because this is full of crumble blocks, and there's another powerbomb tank. So there's nothing here. And Zeke has found his main deck item. That's his diffusion missile. I'm pretty sure he has all those missile upgrades now.
Yeah, Zeke has all the missile upgrades. I think they're even for gear. Trey has screw, which is important.
Yeah.
So Trey might go all the way to lower sector 2 for highway.
Or you check speedway. Yeah, it's a long way to get down there from here, but he might go for it. You can also take this connector. This one goes from what?
This is the 1. He might
2 to 1.
Be thinking about it. He might be thinking about.
Yeah, the little item up here. Maybe. Oh, if he's thinking about lower 1 this early, spicy. That's just a powerbomb tank up there. You see more screw blocks he's going through. There's no blocks there. You have to go around. He's probably he can connect with 3 if you wanted, but he's gonna go back up through here. Zeke's gonna do a little bit in 4 here, so you can actually, with diffusion or ice beam, ice wave, you can actually get down here past these things that like blow up a spiky balloon thing when you get close to them, and you literally can't kill them. But if you can freeze them while they're not inflated, you can get past them.
I think we saw Trey check that earlier, though.
We did, yeah.
There's a couple things that Trey didn't check in 3, like the power bomb and below the main section, and the Ceres or the water lower switch.
Meredith's asking what we're missing. Yeah, we're missing like gravity's the big one, and we also do not yet have plasma.
I mean, typical plasma, but also gravity. Yeah.
Plasma tends to be the item you're hunting for later on, because it has like the least logical implications, and by that I mean like none.
Yeah,
practically none.
Plasma could be nowhere, and Trey did decide to go into Torian.
He's doing it. Okay, he's playing against the thought that maybe I rolled a really bad seed for this, but I've convinced him none of them are super terrible, but he can decide what he wants. Maybe there's something here. It'll be cool. We'll find out. So I made a whole bunch of the seeds ahead of time. The plan was about a month ago, actually. I'd roll up a bunch of seeds and basically make like a bunch of candidates and then shuffle them around so I wouldn't remember what's in them. And then on race day, I just give one and say, here's your seed. So we'd all be going in fresh. And some of these they're all pretty good marathon seeds. They've all got some level of spice to them, ideally. Nothing too easy to complete. Zeke's got his ice beam there. Yep, that's right. That's in the top of 4 here. Trey's found a powerbomb tank there. Nothing exciting. There are 2 more checks he can. Well, there's 1 more check he can make here that isn't fighting Ridley.
Yeah, you think he's gonna go fight the Dirk?
I don't know. He doesn't really have the damage for Ridley.
Yeah, this is gonna.
Yeah, he's resetting.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's decided that against Ridley is Ridley doesn't lock anything, drops screw attack, and expects you to have all of the items basically in the game.
Yep.
And he is not a super easy boss.
No, you're basically kind of shoved into fighting Ridley near the end of the game by way of you have to, because you need to get screw attack to leave lower sector 1. But at that point, like, you're basically at the end of the game. Screw attack doesn't really do anything beyond that plot-wise. It just lets you kind of move around and go find your extra pickups. But yeah, Ridley in this game, it's a tough fight. With full missiles, with your full 45 damage missiles, you'll still need like 110 missiles minimum to kill Ridley if you don't have like any good beam upgrades. Fighting Ridley without full beams is awful, basically.
Yeah, specifically charge and plasma. He takes a lot of damage from the. He's got a really big hitbox, so he takes a lot of damage from the plasma beam traveling through him.
Yeah. Trey's also taking care of box, just waiting for it to fly up into the ceiling and break that, then he can actually get into the data room.
And getting his 5 missiles for the box kill. So they are just covering each other's tracks right now. Haven't seen either of them touch 5, but you can hardly blame them since they don't have Varia.
Yeah, 5 is not an appetizing choice at all. We're missing both suits, so you kind of don't want to go like to the back of 5 because you ideally want to have gravity for that. Ideally you save going through back of 5 for when you have gravity and you're headed just to go to doors 4. And maybe if you're missing plasma, you check a few things on the way, basically. That's how seeds typically go with this. Having neither suit so far is really unusual. Like usually you had at least one of them by now, if not both of them.
Yes, this is definitely more on the odd. But yeah, he's gonna lower the water level. This you can only do a speed booster, but does unlock a degree of things.
If you don't have gravity, it does actually unlock some items. Yeah, logically, you can be required to do this to access at least that one item that's down there underneath it.
Mm-hmm. But if you have the gravity suit, then you just can take the damage from the water, and everything is good.
Yeah.
And yep, Zeke is gonna make the climb up to Saris's water tank.
There is one item up here, basically. We've already seen the items that are after Saris. There are 2 of them following Saris's fight. You can just get up to anyway. There's really only one thing up here, and Zeke's going for it. And Saris at this point is not going to be a hard fight. You're gonna see Saris die really fast because the missile damage we have is much more than you're expected to have at this point.
Yeah, Saris is the last boss you fight with vanilla missiles, and actually...
Oh, right, that's tank we were talking about.
That's the reason why. Alright, Zeke is going to go for the space jump over this tank. If you don't have high... That's right, we're missing high jump. Oh, yeah, no, he didn't save up there.
He went for a one-shot at it and said he literally gave it one attempt, so he's out of 4 for now.
He dropped his ice beam, too, but that's fine.
It's whatever. Ice beam isn't super important.
Yeah.
Have diffusion missiles.
That tank requires high jump or gravity to get out of normally.
Logically, yeah.
But you can use the space jump to jump across it. The issue is if you touch the water at all, you'll drop into it, and it's almost impossible to get out of it. There is a single wall jump that you can do on the far side of the tank to get out of it, but it's terrible.
It's extremely difficult. You're basically climbing like a couple pixels at a time, and the inputs for it are super precise. It is not fun. I've done it like once, and I did not enjoy it. It wasn't worth it. At this point, like, there's not much that can be on Saris with what we have. Like, unless gravity pops up somewhere, like, Saris really can't have much else.
I think it might be lower 6 then.
Yeah, they have access to lower 6. They've just been, putting it off because you don't really want to necessarily go to lower 6
without suitless lower 6 kind of is trash.
Yeah. But it might be down there. Yeah. Trey is also actually going to go into 5 now. So Zeke got his screw attack now, and Trey is in the middle of 5. So you take that shortcut or a connector from 3 to 5. This is a pretty typical way to get into it. And then you can check this item up here in the ceiling and then decide if you're going to go right or left. So right heads back towards this. Yeah, there's the data room, which is destroyed. And we get a missile tank. You actually need space jump to get out of this room, or have doors 3 open and wave beam. Otherwise, you're stuck here.
There's also, if he goes right at this point, he'll get softball for the next item too, unless he can find gravity.
Yeah, that would be at this point, going right into the back of 5 would be a point of no return because you get dunked in water and you're relying on gravity being back there basically.
Also, because he doesn't have gravity, this room is a speed trap. So if he leaves this room out of a door on the left and comes back in, this place will inexplicably be repaired, and he can get out of it because he has missiles, but...
Oh, there's Varia.
Oh, there's Varia. Okay, that's a Varia.
Okay.
So that required... No, that just required you to go into here. That's the first item. Yeah, so you could have got that at any point.
Yep. So now Sector 5 magically state changes, and
I
think you're just stuck here, actually.
No, well, no, he's got. Oh yeah, no, he's got doors 2 open. It's fine.
2 doesn't do anything here.
Well,
that's a 4 up there. I mean, unless like gravity is here.
He can go out the left.
Oh, you're right. You can just leave at the left. No, yeah, you can. No, you can. You're right. Okay.
You gotta take the missile route, but
that's true.
Yeah.
There's that.
It's if you don't have missiles and you attempt to do this, you can get stuck here.
You end up in a weird missile hunt. Yeah. Zeke's doing the speed puzzle room in 6. We didn't see Trey do this because you actually need screw attack to get into that room because you don't have enough space to do a speed build up to get through that wall. There's nothing in there, just a missile pack. So actually, yeah, Zeke's gonna go down into lower 6 here. I like this. So with screw attack, you can actually do this in reverse. You can see there's all these screw blocks that let you just kind of go this way, which is how you normally leave after fighting the Varia core.
He is gonna do everything here.
What's this? Well, there's jumps. Okay,
jumpies. All right, cool.
So we've had space jump for a long time, but high jump ball actually it improves space jump. It makes it just better to use, and also you can now spring ball, jump ball, whatever you call it, and wides here. Oh, very nice.
All the convenient stuff in lower 6.
Lower 6 is paying out hard for Zeke. Yeah. So wide beam is like the best beam. It improves your beam dramatically. It just makes it better, and it makes it like not terrible with only wave.
Extremely important with wave.
It's not strictly required, but you love to see it every time.
So now we've seen all the beams except for plasma.
Yeah, we're as soon as gravity pops up, we're gonna be in a plasma hunt basically.
Oh, I mean, a plasma hunt pops up right a gravity hunt. Either way,
gravity hunts usually aren't a thing, but it's possible. Yeah, usually you're hunting for plasma because it can be almost anywhere.
We are running out of things that we can do. Misses.
Okay, so Varia Core is just a missile tank. Zeke can head left and get. He might just reverse out of this room and continue getting the other 2 items on the left side. Trey is continuing to work on lower 5. There's an item in the ceiling here. And missile tank.
I'm betting plasma is just right up here.
If it's just actually down here, lower 5 is just loaded. No, that's an E-tank. Okay. Or no, I'm sorry, lower 6.
Yeah. No,
I'd like there to be something. I'd like there to be something. I'd like to be something in 5 as well. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. Just shoot it, Trey. It's so awkward. That's an E-tank. All right. Yeah, Zeke's gonna continue doing the reverse path through lower 6 here. Normally this is
one more. Yeah.
Yeah, you need power bombs to get through this room in Rando. In Vanilla, you don't, because you actually come here and the SAX power bombs that wall for you, conveniently. What is here? It's an E-tank.
Cool. I don't think you can get out this way, Zeke, without,
You can, it's tight. It's much tighter with... He's got jumps now. He just found those. Oh!
No, I meant without Varia is the issue.
You have to... You have to just stun that thing and get through it before it releases.
Sorry to interrupt, but we just got a raid by Sirakura with a party of 129. Thank you so much for the raid.
It's a big heckin' raid.
Hi.
Welcome, everyone.
Ultra heck. All the raiders and new people in chat, just reminding you all that we are raising money for the hashtag Team Seas. Every dollar raised, every dollar donated will go towards removing 1 pound of trash for every dollar. Team Seas has a goal of removing 30 million pounds of trash before January starts next year. So every single donation really helps. We also have some merch. Every merch that's being bought, $5 will be donated towards the cause as well. Every little bit helps, and just welcome. Hope you enjoy yourself. We have amazing runs and commentary, and yeah, thank you all so much.
Yeah, and welcome to this amazing fusion seed. We're about an hour in. This is a fusion randomizer, so all of the items have been taken, shuffled around, and organized in such a way that will make a beatable seed, but the runners have no idea what they're doing.
That makes it very entertaining for racing. Randomizer racing is just, it's fantastic. You can see a lot of crazy just routing decisions, and you gotta make the right plays before your opponent does. It's a lot of fun to watch. We're currently hunting for a couple particular items. We don't have the plasma beam nor the gravity suit on either side. We're looking for those things because we definitely need them to finish the game.
Yeah, it looks like Trey is copying Zeke going into lower 6. Gonna find a couple of those items that Zeke has.
Yeah, he's doing it the normal way, the normal direction. So he'll be, if you're familiar with the game of vanilla, you recognize this as the correct way to go through the sector. Because normally you don't have screw attack until very late. So you don't get to do this in reverse.
Yeah, it looks like Zeke is gonna
he's checking
cover a little bit
here.
of Trey's.
Yeah, so we're seeing them both definitely doing some retracing of each other's steps. This happens in rando racing. You'll find them doing stuff the other one's already checked because they don't know what their opponent has done. We get to sit here and wonder, where the heck do we go for our next progression?
Well, we have Speedway. We also have Varia did unlock Wide Core.
Yeah, that's true. We do have the ability to get to Wide Core, aka Franker Z, aka what else do people call him? What's there's a name for him. People have a name for him, like Stan or Greg or something like that, but Greg. It's not that. Trey spotted that item there. He sees that one. He's gonna see another item here. Yep, getting some stuff.
Yeah, get a wide beam. And yeah, it looks like Zeke is gonna go down to Zazavi Speedway.
He's checking Speedway. I like it. So there in the bottom right corner of Sector 2, there is a speed puzzle. We refer to it as Speedway because you do a lot of running through it. And Zeke's headed down there to see what 2 items are there. Thankfully, with Wave Beam, you can actually check. You can see both items without having to commit to actually doing the puzzle. So if there is something important, he'll know without having to actually do it. One of them is visible, one of them is in the wall. So
this is one of those areas that's really hard to find in the vanilla game because it's kind of stuffed way up here, and you can only get it after you get screw attack.
Yeah, you do not see that when you're fighting the boss. Zazabi down here. It's so early. Oh, just missiles down here. Okay. No, nothing at Speedway today. But yeah, you have to space jump and screw attack your way up in the top right corner of that room you're basically, you stumble upon it because you're just like going around looking for anything, doing like your 100% cleanup. And there's a room back here. And you discover one of Fusion's most devious speed puzzles. It's not the worst one, but it's one of the worst ones.
It's one of the worst ones. But what that Sector 2 is completely done now. We did all of main deck. Sector 1, besides Ridley, is all done now.
Yeah.
It might just be the Boiler Run.
I'm starting to think Boiler Run. It's looking more and more like that's going to have something. We are running low on options. Pulling up the map here to remind myself what exists, see if there's anything else I'm not remembering.
The high jump does unlock Saris as well.
Oh yeah, we do have access to Saris now. Yeah, that's true.
So we're running around, scrambling, looking for this thing. Zeke might go to Torian area. Don't think he will have the stomach to fight Ridley either.
No, I can't imagine. It's Ridley's just so hard. It just takes a lot of damage to kill.
Zeke also hasn't found that Varia yet.
Actually, did we see Zeke run along the bottom, the lower item and 4 after draining the water?
No, he actually drained the water and saved me put out. Maybe he didn't remember that.
he didn't do that, so I think we'll probably see that from Trey here, maybe actually, because there's an item underneath the water that you have to. If you don't have gravity, you have to lower the water to get to it.
Right. Zeke is going back for the speed puzzle in 1.
Yeah. I think it was just a missile tank, so he's not going to find anything important there. Yeah, now it's a lot easier to pull off because you now have high jump, which makes this a lot more doable. Ray's also probably just going to go fight Ceres. Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, after this, we're looking at... I am honestly starting to think like back of 5, because there are some things you can get that don't require gravity strictly to get to.
Yeah. Oopsie. Oh, missed his down input, so he lost his speed.
Okay, he stopped there. Yeah.
Yeah, back of 5 you can get. Oh boy, I think he considers the freezer a couple things in logic. Heck, it might even consider nightmare in logic to have gravity.
I mean,
half charge. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can fight nightmare. Vanilla gravity would be kind of neat. But possible. We've seen it in our races. We run a bunch of these. It's just a group of friends, and we've seen almost everything at this point. But vanilla gravity is not unheard of.
Yeah, and on Trey's side, boss number 4, Ceres, water sneak.
And yeah,
2
missiles.
earlier.
Yep. When your missiles are fully powered, it does not take that many of them to dunk Ceres. It's just two to the head and then 2 to the core, and we're gonna get a fire bomb tank.
Burger.
He's gonna, hopefully go check that item that's underneath where the water has been drained, because I want to see what that is.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a save at 4, so...
Yeah. I don't think he can reset here now. Oh, just shoot
Not
it.
enough, Trey.
You need all that. You need all that room. Yeah. Shoot it. There you go. Goober. Yeah, he's already been through your checked those items earlier, so he's down, and yeah, we'll see him go. You need all that room. Yeah, he's trying to check. I don't think you can see that from here. I think you have to go down to it. What's here? Oh, uh-oh. There's something here. I hope Zeke hasn't forgotten this. Oh, that's gravity. Oh, no. Oh, no, Zeke. I'm sorry. That's
a minor oof.
Yeah, so Zeke drained the water, and I'd be maybe with the intent of checking that, but did not. Like, he forgot about it or skipped it.
Ceres, yeah.
Yeah, and reset from there after Ceres' attempt. I hope he remembers that he hasn't gotten that yet. And it's just like, at this point, it's isolated, so it's just like you're chasing density rather than that. I think Zeke going for lower 1 as well here.
Yes. I think he just saved at the top of 1 and is going down.
So Trey has gravity now, which lets him do a lot more. He will probably go unlock doors 4 to start with, because you have to do that, and that opens up a good more of the station. And then at that point, we're on a plasma hunt.
No, I don't think the plasma hunt's gonna last too long.
Yeah, we kind of ruled out a lot of stuff already. There's once doors 4 is open, you can get everywhere else pretty much. There's not a lot left to check still. You've got like the back of 6, which leads into lower 1, but we've already seen lower 1. So the latest that trip would go would be to the tunnel, the restricted zone tunnel. They have 1 item in it.
It's still 5 items to do the back of 6 area. Actually 6. It's pretty loaded, but
yeah.
It's a little slow fighting box 2.
And it's usually pretty late. Like, you don't usually see that being involved in rando, because like oftentimes by the time you're opening doors, you have almost everything. Maybe it's a plasma hunt, or maybe you've already found it, but it's the requirements to get back there are fairly high. We do have some gravity lock checks here. Trey's going to do the longest shine spark in the game here in a moment.
Yeah.
Probably have to touch two firebomb tanks on the way up. Oh, that's a missile.
Then quick C on the other item.
Oh, that's firebomb tank. All right, you only have to touch. Yeah.
He's gonna go back down. Weird
He's going for boiler probably.
Yeah, he might be Franker Z.
Yeah, because now he can also check lava maze on the way back, so this is like a good option. I think Zeke's going for it.
Yeah, Zeke is an upper Torian, so yeah, he's going to Ridley.
There's only one reason to go this way, and that is if you're intending to fight Ridley.
Did he eat too many of those?
No. As long as you leave.
You could use, yeah, you just need one.
And I think it's actually, I think you just need 2 for it to spawn. He's going for Ridley here, so you're about to say hi to the big angry loud space dragon. He's very loud in Fusion.
This is a tough fight at his gear level.
Yeah, this is he doesn't have enough missiles to purely kill with missiles, but you don't want to kill Ridley with pure missiles. You want to have beams, but not having plasma makes this your beam damage does not do enough. He should just unload his missiles first and then just do beams as necessary. And he doesn't have suits either, so Ridley's just going to be dealing damage.
Yeah, a grab from Ridley is going to do a ton of damage to him. Fortunately, Screw Attack prevents you from taking damage until he grabs you, though.
Trey is now at the boiler fighting the wide core X. And we're going to see what this has. That's what I was saying. And we're resetting. Yep. Loading his missiles now. He's almost out. He's doing a smart play of saving missiles for when you get grabbed, because it's very hard to break out of Ridley's grab if you don't have full power beam. You need a certain amount of damage to make him drop you, and missiles can do that. I don't think he's gonna get there. Really hasn't turned his last. There's the last color of red, but I think he doesn't have enough here.
Ridley has like a whopping like 8,000 health or something like that. So
it's a ton. I think I don't blame Zeke for kind of giving it like one attempt, but I think he's gonna say nope, that's not worth going back down for that again. So he's gonna go elsewhere.
So this is the penultimate play from Trey here, doing lower 5 or right of 5 to go into the to back a 4 so that he can open doors 4.
Yeah, this is you do have to go this way, and there are a few checks down here. If you're in a plasma hunt, this is a good area to look. Actually, it's fairly dense actually, especially with power bombs. Actually, power bombs in particular open up you can look at a bunch of items here.
We may see him fight Nightmare too if he doesn't find plasma.
He could. Nightmare with this equipment, I mean, you've got full powered missiles, which actually you do not even have for Nightmare normally. You get diffusion after Nightmare, so you could go for it, yeah.
Yeah, Nightmare is atmospherically one of the hardest bosses in the game, and just scariest bosses in the game.
Yeah.
But with this loadout, I think he'd be fine. There's also one item above Nightmare as well.
There is, yeah.
Which, if you grab that item,
if that's a major, then you have to fight Nightmare to leave. It's just a missile tank. He's going for it though. Yeah. Yeah. Ridley has 4,500 hit points specifically. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's correct. And if you have full powered missiles, then it takes
100 missiles.
Precisely 100, yeah, to kill Ridley. So having anything over 100 if you're going to kill Ridley without full beams is recommended.
So a couple quick missiles to the generator gets us out of phase 1 quick.
Interesting fact about
phase 2.
Interesting thing about Nightmare, actually, you're not expected to have diffusion missiles here. And normally, when in vanilla, if you try to fire a missile at Nightmare during phase 2 and the gravity manipulation is happening, the missile doesn't hit; it just flops to the ground. But with diffusion missiles, it actually just like ignores that for some reason, so you can still hit the underneath bit with missiles, the gravity disruptor or whatever it is. And AC full powered missiles and everything, Trey's gonna have no problem getting through this. Also, having so Zeke's had his Varia, that's good for him.
That was a nice quick fight from from Trey there.
And also with space and screw attack, it actually is relatively safe because as long as you're like just in the air screw attacking, you actually just don't take damage from you don't take contact damage from bosses, so you can just kind of go through them. The game did not expect you to have screw attack until after you're done fighting bosses, so you can basically just ignore like contact damage with anything with screw attack, except for the very last fight, of course.
You're supposed to have space for this fight, which allows you to jump around them during the whole floating around the room phase, but not screw. And screw attack allows you to just avoid so much.
Yep.
So we see Zeke going into lower 5. I think Trey did this a little earlier.
Yeah, Zeke hasn't done this yet. And at this point, this is Zeke's density. He's got several items down here you can look at. I don't blame him for going for lower 5 now. And well, Trey is now going to escape the back of 5 the only way you can, and then you run into 4. And then we're going to go down here and go turn on the last security level. So we play typically with the regular sort of security level to where opening a door's unlocked all the ones below it. So by opening doors 4, 3 will also be opened. So that opens all the doors in the game and lets us go wherever we please. Which actually does like unlock a check in 5 that we haven't seen. Actually, I don't know if he looked at it. No,
I think Trey unlocked doors 3, but I don't think he ever checked that.
I don't think he looked at it. Yes, there's at the very start of 5, there's a room that has yellow doors on either side of it. I don't know if he looked at that item. So Plasma could actually just be there, and like if Zeke checks it, he might have. I mean, there'll be a nice bit of like difference in inventory. So Trey's dropping through here. We're at now the security room for level 4 doors. They're the red color. Everything's open now, and now Trey just has to go find the plasma.
Way in the depths of Sector 4.
There are still a couple items down here too. There are 2 more items to check that are down here that you can access to. One of them we like to call Crab Battle is in this room, or in the next room rather. You have to do like a puzzle where you kill the enemies in the lower left and then get them to reform as these gold enemies, and then after killing the 2 gold enemies, then the door opens for whatever reason.
Because that's how it works.
And if there's nope, it's just a missile. We love to see a major item at Crab Battle because it's such a rare spot that it's a real treat to have something there. It almost never happens.
It's also a pain to check because the puzzle room is not super easy.
No.
Without like screw attack.
Trey's going to leave lower 4. He's going to go over to the right here. There's one more item he can check on his way out. By dropping a power bomb here, this opens up the floor, and we have another power bomb tank. He does not touch it. Wise move.
Vanilla.
Otherwise, we would have to laugh at him.
Mm-hmm. So we got 2 more items on the way out of here.
Didn't Trey? I think. Oh yeah. There's one he hasn't seen. There's one. Yeah, he hasn't. He looked at the one, but there's. You're right. There's one more on the way.
Oh right. Yeah, he checked the one down bottom.
Saving here.
So he also has a data room, Sector 4 data room he can do now, which is locked behind the level 4 doors.
Oh, also that. You're right. I forgot data room.
So he might go to 6 after that.
I'm thinking he might actually be saving here and going straight for lower after save for 6, because if nothing else, he can just reset back to here and then exit 4. Well, he's gonna check the data room first. Yeah. And then with diffusion missiles, you can hit that and that breaks those missile blocks. Yeah, diffusion missiles specifically, like the spread effect on it, still breaks missile blocks, and the game wants you to use that in a couple specific instances for puzzly type things.
Very few, but yes.
So Zeke went through that room and did not see a plasma beam there, so no such luck for this room.
Nope.
Trey's found a power bomb tank and Sector 4 data.
So Sector 4 is clear, though Zeke needs to go back there to get his gravity.
Yeah.
So it might just be in lower sector 6.
It seemed like
just might get in the world tour.
We might.
He gets like on the Trey. It's on the 2nd level.
Now we're in 6 again by that connector from 4 to 6. And Trey's going to now head through the rest of it that is now unlocked by having doors 4 open. You need power bombs also to get to it, but yeah, without having the doors open, there's no way to get into the back part of 6. So we'll see him get that way. And there's, what, 6 items back here in total? There's a bunch of stuff to find.
Yeah, so we got first on the space jump speed puzzle. And then,
not quite. He's jumping just too early.
Why are you jumping at all?
He's trying to do the space jump method.
Oh.
He's doing it wrong. There you go. Oh, okay, he's gonna go for it here. Now, it's one way to do this room. I don't agree with it being the correct way, but it's one way to do that room.
Yeah, that feels slow. I think you should just do the puzzle.
It's tricky because like you have to like space jump. You need to open the door, Trey.
You also need to open the door, Trey.
Please open the door, Trey. There. Okay, all right. The regular way. You can screw attack through that and just like get the first item easy. So there's the first one. Trey, you can just shoot the platform downward.
Oh boy. Zeke unfortunately is going to Nightmare without his gravity.
Yeah, he's making the play that gravity is in the back of 5, which I don't blame him for making the call. It's just unfortunately not correct.
Yeah, it's all right. Time for Cat Jam Fever.
He'll get stuck pretty quick here. Like when gravity isn't here, like he'll be out of options and he has to go figure out what he's missing basically.
So remember that robot from Sector 3? Well, it's back and with missiles.
It has different weaponry now. It's X-infected, and all messed up, and you got to kill it again.
And it's got electrifying the water. This boss can do a lot of damage if you don't do it correctly.
Yeah, it jumps higher than box 1, so it's like it can be a hazard. You're just trying to stay on the ceiling. And if you don't have enough beams, it can actually be a problem trying to kill those missiles that pop out. Like you're expected to plasma here, with not enough beam damage, it can be a real problem. And then normally you get wave beam here. We already have wave beams. We'll have to see what actually is on this core, if anything. No, that's a thing.
So interesting. We're gonna call it feature of this game. Is that this music doesn't stop until we find another major item, or I don't know. Oh, this might be it. I can't think of anything else this could be.
I think we have all our items except for plasma now, right?
Yep.
Oh, just grab it.
This room is terrible.
This room sucks. It's obnoxious to get this item here.
You gotta unmorph at just the right frame
and like ledge grab it. It's
yeah.
There you go. Just do a crumble jump. Yay, plasma's there. We found it.
Crumble jump.
Trace in go mode now.
Which I'll be at this game runs at 30 frames a second, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but actually no, this game runs at 60. I think so.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah, Trey's actually found the item we're looking for, which was the plasma beam. So now he gets to go finish the game.
Cool. We already have the doors open, so everything is good to go.
Oh, I know what Zeke's doing next. I don't blame him for doing it, but it's also unfortunately incorrect. He's gonna do his boiler run now, which Trey already did earlier. Or he's probably just screw attacking through the first room, or the space, or shine spark through the first room, which just makes sense because it's a long room.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Trey is pretty much done. He just has to go now back up to the main deck and actually go have our one SAX encounter in the whole rando, because the rest of them are completely removed because they are part of the event system and are no longer necessary. He's gonna go fight the SAX.
And then a surprise.
Surprise.
A surprise.
There's a cool little shortcut here. If you have screw attack specifically, you can get through that wall.
And also bombs.
Well, yeah, of course.
Because I've gone through that with screw attack and not bombs before.
That's silly. Don't do that. Just one more elevator ride back up the operations deck. We've been here a couple times already. Once already, actually, in the missile start. And then we'll actually notice this time the doors lock on us and you're like, oh no, something's wrong. And you try to go up to the top here and something breaks, and then suddenly there's the SAX and he's gonna freeze on the top platform. Interesting. This fight is relatively simple once you've got a good pattern for it. You basically just have to fire a charge shot and then move away from it, and relatively simple pattern, just rinse and repeat until it's taken enough damage.
SAX is vicious though. They'll just be the whole time.
If you get like off pattern for this, or you're not used to the fight, like it's really rough to figure out how to handle this fight. And then it morphs into this weird thing, and then you just fire some more charge shots through it, and then it's dead. And then third phase, we have another I core, which with full missiles takes 6 of them to defeat. If you have no missile upgrades, this takes 24 missiles. It's obnoxious. It's 24 or 28 in those numbers.
Yeah,
a lot.
It is a lot, but Trey has full inventory, so this is Trey's not missing anything at this point besides just miners.
And Zeke has realized the item he is missing and is on the right track to going back to get it.
That's good. So Zeke is going to get their gravity probably just about when Trey finishes for this.
Yeah.
Do we have some time for some plugins for the marathon and whatnot?
Yeah.
Alright, so just a reminder, we are benefiting Team C's. Every dollar donated, every dollar raised will take out 1 pound of trash from our oceans. We have quite a few more runs left rest of the night. After this, we do have a Beat Mania run, Hello Kitty Cruises, Foam Gym, Hotline Miami, Golden Treasure, The Great Green, and a Super Metroid run a lot later. We also do have a bid war going on for the Super Metroid run at the end of the day. I do believe it's Save the Animals or Save the Frames, and Save the Animals is still winning by around $80. So if you want to, change the course of fate, please do get your donations in. Personally, I'm a Save the Frames kind of person, but that's just me. It's all going towards an amazing cause. If we hit our $2,000 donation goal, Sinif, the marathon organizer, will clean up his local beach and live stream it entirely on Twitch, which is incredibly wholesome.
Thank you for that. Yeah, get those donations in. And Trey is on the final boss here, which is an Omega Metroid, which makes no sense unless you played the handheld game.
Yep. Surprise, surprise! The Federation was cloning Metroids for peaceful applications. Of course, that's what you're told, but you know better than that. Galfed is it sure is the Galactic Federation. The Omega Metroid is pretty easily dispatched if you have all your beams, and then the ship flies in once it's dead, and that is done for Trey at a time looking like about, let's see what if he clicked in race time, let's see.
128.30-ish.
128.37 was the official in race time. We're subtracting 8 seconds from that from sync for about, so about 128.28, yeah. And that's Trey done.
Nice. GG's to Trey for a very, very fun run. Plasma Lower 6 is kind of exhausting. That gravity wasn't fun either.
No, the gravity spot was really unique in this one. Yeah,
so you could have had that gravity earlier. I think if they just went for that instead of thinking about Paris.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd gone for that, he'd be in a much better place. Yeah, because he'd have a gravity for a lot longer.
But then the decision to go to box 2 is still...
You still have to decide that after that.
He still has to decide that.
Yeah.
But it looks like Zeke is going to keep going. But, do we want to get Trey in here to yap about the race?
Go for it if you want.
I don't see why we couldn't.
Also, just massive GGs in general to Trey.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Trey.
Hi.
Hi.
So what's it like not being able to jump?
Listen. I went without the freaking the boots for so long. I forgot what I got them, and I forgot that I was suddenly jumping higher. So all my space jumps were then thrown off. Holy moly! Oh, it wasn't bad. I was expecting much worse. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I wasn't gonna put in the most awful seeds possible. You know that.
I don't know. Plasma after box 2 is still pretty bad.
It's a good spot for it. Yeah. I can see why I would have chosen the seed as a candidate. Yeah.
Yeah.
That gravity spot was a bit rough too. So actually, yeah. Zeke got there earlier and almost got to it. Like he drained the water, but then went up for Ceres and just reset out of Ceres after trying to get over the tank once. And it was we're like, oh no, gravity's down there. That gravity
honestly, I
spot was
think that gravity
too.
was
So
earlier than
yeah.
you think.
Zeke
it was just the way you two routed it.
Almost got to it. Like
well,
drained
because
the
you
water,
got-
and went up for
you got speed in one, and you
and
could have just gone for it after that.
reset out of
Yeah,
Ceres
but
after
my
trying to get
issue
over
is
the
I
tank
went to
once, and it was,
after 2. I
like,
got
oh,
everything.
no,
I
gravity's
cleared
down
out. I
there.
did the whole 2 loop, and then
Honestly,
I went to 4
I think that
before
gravity
1.
was earlier than.
So I had
you
no
think.
way of having.
It was just the way you two routed it.
It was, yeah. Well, yeah,
Because
because
you
I
got-
didn't have.
You got speed in one, and you could have just gone for it after that.
Yeah, but my issue is I went to after 2. I got everything. I cleared out. I did the whole 2 loop, and then I went to 4 before 1.
I know.
So I had no way of having speed to go get gravity that early.
Yeah.
And I got speed booster, and I legitimately thought about stopping and leaving sector 1 as soon as I got speed.
So I think you just picked the perfect seed against these two runners, Addy.
I apparently, yeah.
But then you still have to make the decision to go kill box 2.
Yeah.
Plasma's behind box.
It's behind box 2, yeah.
It's on the crumble puzzle right above him. Yeah.
Of course it is. Like, I was so prepared to just carry the music through the rest of the seed for a while, because at that point I hadn't fought Notori yet. So, because I don't like fighting Notori.
Oh man, that was spicy going for it.
Your early Notori attempt was really spicy, yeah.
That's phenomenal, Zeke.
Zeke, actually, if you stand on that right platform as close to Notori as possible without falling, the left spore doesn't have you in range to fire at you. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's tough dropping into that room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it was rough.
high jump boots were dumb.
Yeah, you were close to phase 2. Like, it just need a little more, and you would have gotten there. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was fun to watch. Reasonable finish time. I think you two have gotten good enough at the game that you'll get through any seed in like hour and a half, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I have on my end an hour 28, 27.
Yeah.
yeah, about that. It was a good run. I hope you two had fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I know Fusion Rando is relatively new-ish. It's still in beta, so it's nice to be able to showcase it and sort of get the word out.
Yep. It's been cool to be able to showcase this here, and yeah. If you want to keep in touch with the find the Metroid Fusion speedrunning Discord, there's a whole subsection for Fusion Rando if you want to check it out and get into the game and keep an eye on updates. I think we're about done here. We're ready to hand it off back